how it was put together. Now, we're going to be looking at one topic, which I haven't made a slide for, and this comes under the topic of Ulim al Quran, which is basically Arabic language. Okay, now one question that can be posed is about the nature of the language of the Quran. Is the Quran necessarily Arabic, or can the Quran considered to be Quran in any other language? So can Yusuf Ali's translation be, is that Quran? Muhammad As's, Pickthall's, Abdul Halim's, Shakir's, Sahih, whatever, are they Quran? What do you guys think? No, they're not Quran? So we can't say that. Okay, yeah. So the Quran says, Qur'anan Arabiyan ghayra dhi iwajin la'allahum yattaqun. An Arabic Quran without crookedness, so that they may have taqwa. Yeah. So there's a number of relevant verses that talk about the Arabic nature of the Quran. Another one, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan la'allakum ta'qilun. Yeah, that we have indeed revealed this as an Arabic Quran, so that you may think. Another one, Inna ja'alnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan la'allakum ta'qilun. We have revealed it as an Arabic Quran so that you may think. Okay. So therefore what follows, as you guys said, is that a translation cannot strictly therefore be regarded as as the Quran. And in fact, it's more accurate to suggest that a translation of the Quran is a tafsir of the Quran. It's a commentary on the Quran, because every translator will translate things according to their own understanding, and that's why translations differ, right? And another reason is that often these translations mistranslate verses, right? I'll give you an example. Most of the translations made this mistake. In Surah Al-Fatiha, Allah says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and then the verses progress. At the end, it says, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. Sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim, the path of those whom you have favored. Ghayr al-maghdubi alayhim walad-dallin. This last verse, what does it mean? How would you translate this last verse? Let's put it that way. Ghayr al-maghdubi. So guide us to the path of those whom you have favored. Not those who have gone astray and have earned your anger, yeah? So what does that mean, not those? What do you mean? What do you mean not, okay. Let me clarify my thoughts. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those whom you have favored. Not those. Is that a complete sentence? What do you mean, not those? Don't guide us to those? Is that what you're saying? Huh? Not the path of those. Yeah? Is that what you mean? Yeah? Not the path of those. Is that what you're trying to say? Not those, not the path of those. Yeah? Okay. The Quran isn't, it's a subtle difference, but the Quran isn't saying that. If you look at any of the books of I'rab, that's not the translation. Right? The translation is, and this is a mistake in the translation. The translation is, guide us to the straight path. There's only one translation that I think gets it right. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those whom you have favored. The path of those, guide us to the path of those who have not earned your anger and who have not been led astray and not earned your anger. Do you understand the difference? Guide us to the straight path, the path of those whom you've favored. And that very path is the path that those who have not been led astray and have not earned your anger. Guide us to that path, O Lord. In both of those verses, it's the same path. It's not saying, guide us to the path, straight path, the path of those who have earned your anger, and don't guide us to this path. It's saying, both verses are saying, guide us to this path. Not guide us to this path and not that path. You understand? That's the difference. So you see that here's a mistake that has entered into popular understanding because of the translations, and therefore it exemplifies for you how a translation can get things wrong. Yeah? Sorry? The difference in meaning. What the difference is. One implication is that when you say, don't guide us to the path of those who favored, that there's only one path. Yeah? But there may be many paths. In fact, in the Quran, it talks about the dhulumat. Razi, the great exegete and mufassir, says that the truth has one path, and falsehood has many paths, dhulumat. So this is something the Quran doesn't say that it's only one path. You understand? So there's a subtle, it's a subtle difference, and it doesn't affect too much in our guidance, I know, but it's important to be technically correct with the Quran. It's important to be very, very correct with the Quran. That's what I'm saying. Sorry? Majority of who? Oh yeah, on this, yeah, majority, vast majority. I mean, you can check now. Check your, yeah. Well, what have you got? Maududi, yeah, is wrong. Check them all. You'll find. I think one of them gets it right. It's not me. This will be in the books of I'rab. This is in the book, Arabic books. This point I've made. It's in the books. It's not. It's just that they haven't done their research. It's not just me, and other people say what I've said as well. Other people. I posted this point on a group of 200 imams, and they were all shocked. And they all started researching the books to show me, that to find how, they were all surprised, and they understood it the same way. Translation. No, I recommend learning Arabic. Secondary, then.
Is there any way to name some individuals who identify these mistakes and correct it?
Firstly, that there's not many. I'm not saying that this is common. I'm not saying that they're making mistakes. Although there may be. I mean, I've just picked up one. All I'm trying to say is that I'm saying a translation is not the Quran. It's not the Quran. Even in tafsir, in Arabic tafsir, you will find mistakes. That is clearly there. That is clearly there. I can show you, there is mistakes. They make mistakes. People are humans, right? That's what I'm saying. Just be aware that people are humans. And what I mean is that you put your thinking caps on. You decide, but you need to equip yourself with knowledge, right? The more you equip yourselves with knowledge, the more able you are to be able to discern things for yourself. The less you are relying. The more you gain knowledge, even knowledgeable scholars have to rely on other scholars who are not specialists, who are specialists in other fields. So the more you gain knowledge, the less you obviously rely on other people, right? And that's just a continuum, right? So you might know a bit more than somebody else. You're a bit more self-reliant, right? I'm not saying anyone here can do ijtihad, right? But what I'm saying is that there's a continuous path here, and just walk along that path. That's what I'm trying to say. And Arabic is very important. Arabic is the key. Arabic is, there's a big difference between people who know Arabic and those who don't know Arabic. There's a massive difference. And those who know Arabic very well are stronger generally in their knowledge than people who don't know Arabic that well. Yeah, that's just clear. You can. And so, the takeaway point, I suppose, is I can't tell you which translation to rely on because.
This one have it correct. This one seems to have it correct.
Does it got it correct? Maududi. Oh, it seems so. Yeah. It might be. Maududi is quite good actually. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. This is the one I think. This is the one I think. Check the other ones. I don't think you'll find it. Maybe it is another one. I don't know. Okay. So. Right, so if this is the case, if this example is the case and what we've said is the case, then what follows is that a student of the Quran has no option but to gain a strong grasp of Arabic, a student of the Quran. And, it's important to know the vocabulary of the Quran, the grammar of the Quran, the i'rab of the Quran. This is another science of the Quran, the morphology, the rhetoric, all of these things, yeah? And on top of that, it's important to familiarize with oneself with poetry. And this is if you're obviously becoming very serious, that doesn't mean that you don't engage with the Quran now. The Quran says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا, right? So the Quran encourages everybody, not just a certain section of society, to contemplate the Quran, right? But just be humble and say, look, I don't know everything. If there's something I need to know, and don't pass a fatwa, basically, right? But when the Quran says, be good to your parents, you don't need really a tafsir to say, what does that mean? Yeah, be good to your parents means be good to your parents. Yeah, tafsir might help in kind of explaining, expanding a bit, but you don't need it. Right? This is what my teacher from Iraq, Sheikh Abdullah Juday, says in his book on Ulim al Quran, that there might be some verses in the Quran that aren't accessible to everybody in their fullness, meaning the legal verses. And there you need experts, But the rest of them, people should do tadabbur. That the Quran tells us to do tadabbur on them. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's another example. Very good, right at the beginning. Just after, huh? No, so yeah, no problem. No, I thought you were asking a question, sorry. So dhalika, yeah, so many of them, very, very few say that. Most of them say this, but it says that. That is the book. Dhalika al-kitab, So, what the implications are, we can have a discussion about that. So, okay, now, once you've gained Arabic, what happens that you've gained a whole new accessibility to the Quran, right? You're reciting